Our first stop is Habitat for Humanity Restore. We're going to 4 places today, thrifting for home decor and furniture. And I'm so glad you're coming along. I hope you got your coffee. My name is Tanya, and this is Free Range Cottage. I like to check out the Restore for lighting, furniture, and I have found some small items there as well. You just never know, and the longer something has been there, the more discounted it is. These little lockers were really cute, but they were kid size, but if you were doing up a kid's room or an entryway, those might work. We're always looking for that jewel in the middle of things that are not so great. I wouldn't take this home with the wicker. I love wicker and rattan and bamboo, but I like it to be in really good condition. I thought this was a great little cabinet. It turns out it's a file cabinet, but you could put apothecary pulls on that and maybe give it a refinish or a paint. And that's a solid piece, really cute. I actually have been looking for a desk, so just kind of being patient and looking around for that. This was a mid-century looking dresser for, that was $250. And I don't know what the orange tag was. The longer it's there, I think it was 25% off of that, and then it would get cheaper as we go along. And I did see this great solid wood desk. It would need a little bit of work unless you wanted it just kind of rustic like it was. That was $42, I believe. And spoiler alert, I didn't get it, and I'm kind of kicking myself for not getting it because it was pretty great. I loved the detail on it. And then they have new things in here that are donated sometimes also. Some things new in the box for a lot less money. And these lighting, those looked like some designer lighting that I've seen before, maybe Serena and Lily or one of those. And I have bought a few furniture pieces here before. And then there was this print that they wanted $70 for, which didn't quite make sense to me. It's not an oil painting or anything like that. And this was a really big table. And then I don't usually like these sewing machine things, whatever they're called, turned into a table, but that one was really pretty. I liked the light wood on the top. Thought that was cute. Again, just odds and ends kind of furniture. Loved this table, the top of it. Kind of wanting a round table again, but I want something with leaves in it because we still do Thanksgiving and all the holidays here, and we have quite a few people, so I can't do something small. And this bench was $15. Okay, don't come at me, I didn't get it. Yes, I regret it. And then you can see they have all kinds of building materials. They had this paint that I had never heard of, but a whole bunch of brand new gallons. And this I thought was a great piece with a lot of potential. It had the slip covered top and it was $10. And I really think that top could have been washed and OxyCleaned and gotten really, really nice. And I had to run through Sam's Club, and they have these cutest doll houses, and look, a little Boston Terrier. Adorable. I guess Boston Terriers are having a moment. We have one, if you don't know. She's almost 4 years old, and we are definitely Boston Terrier fans now. She is our little baby now that we don't have any babies. But I think these doll houses are adorable. I just have them 14, so. And then this is our downtown, and it was my turn to run through again. Now we're gonna head into an antique store. I showed you that food truck. It seems pretty popular. I've never tried it yet. This place has been a couple different things, and I thought I would check it out. I've only been in there once, but to my surprise, they did have, it's very focused on sort of mid-century, and they did have a pretty big inventory of that. So this would be a great place to go if you're looking for some mid-century furniture or accents. Not necessarily thrifting price, but for that really special piece. Those were some nice oil paintings there. So we're just going to browse through and see what we find here. I thought these were really pretty. They're not my style, but in the right house, and if it was your style, they were very well made pieces. And then there's some more cottage-y, farmhouse kind of things as well, which I love a mix of all of those. And if you haven't seen, the chocolate browns are, all the browns and are really coming back around. It's a big place, a good size. This mid-century bar was really something, and the lamp, the floor lamp, so you could definitely get the mid-century look if you wanted it. I did like these little tray tables. I love flexible furniture that can be folded up and put away or moved to different rooms in the house. Those are always great in small spaces. If you have a smaller house like I do, it's not huge, then you know the value of that flexibility. I'm always checking out the pottery, the glassware. Kitchens are so easy to outfit in vintage to mix with your new things. There is an abundance, at least in my area, of kitchen and home decor. A lot of times it's the furniture that's harder to find. This is a beautiful chinoiserie piece. Really like that terrazzo planter. Again, kind of more of a mid-century, and this glass also. More chinoiserie. I just don't have a lot of display space. This picture was really beautiful. I think it's a print, but it's an old one, and the colors in it were just really pretty. This is more Victorian, which I don't know if you're around my age, you'll remember when Victorian style was so popular. These dresses I thought were worth taking a look at. My daughter got a vintage dress when she went to the prom in high school, and it was so cute. And affordable, I might add, compared to the dresses that girls want these days, it seems like. They cost more than my wedding dress. Really liked this table, again, with the fold down leaves. It had like a bamboo looking base. I hadn't seen that. And that was a lamp base. There's a whole collection of Polish pottery, which you don't usually find. Usually I see a piece here or there. Loved the green on this lamp, if you needed just one. Some very mid-century looking pieces here. And I really liked this mirrored console table. I thought it'd be a really pretty vanity, or could be used as a console table, would be really pretty as well. A couple of mid-century nightstands. And then there are these rush seat chairs. There are two here, and then I actually saw two more in another part of the store. So if you needed four, they were there, but for some reason they weren't put together. And I'm pretty sure my mom had that luggage right there. I always like to see things that are familiar from when I was a kid. And they even had some old, what are these even called? They're not called game consoles. This lacquered piece was gorgeous. And another one. Why didn't I get this? I just wasn't so sure about it. I need to probably go back and see if it's still there, but I doubt it. It was a great price. Some great pottery bowls. We cook a lot and we eat at home all the time, so it's kind of fun to have different things to use. Keeps it interesting. I have a niece that likes butterflies, so it made me think of her with those. And I have found great purses and jackets and all kinds of fun stuff in antique malls and flea markets. There's those other two chairs. This piece, really, you can't tell by the picture how pretty it was.
I love Lena Butt.
And here's another dresser that I really liked. Very classic styling on that. Wouldn't have to change a thing. I think it's an old secretary, maybe. Very pretty. And very well made. The drawers were great. And then this was on the clearance table. I think it's like a little soup pot or bean pot with the little bowls. Very cute and very reasonably priced. More of the brown dishes. They kind of had a purple hue in the light in there, so I got a little excited, but they were definitely brown, but very pretty pottery. Interesting bookshelf. Some blue and white chinoiserie. And there was this great ironstone pitcher, which it was at a decent price. That one really tempted me to walk out with that, but it's just a little more, I don't know, ornate than I'm looking for, but very beautiful. But this is the name of the place. You can go on Instagram and check them out. Now, this rummage sale, you guys, I've been to this rummage sale a few years in a row. I didn't even know it was happening. And everything was half off. We were on our way to an estate sale, actually. And we happened to see this. And they always have great stuff. And their prices are fantastic. Actually, I think we went to 5 places. I kept thinking this video was 4, but I think we did 2 estate sales, this rummage sale, Habitat, and the antique mall. So there you go. Even more. Great old desk, but it was missing a piece. But again, solid wood. I remember way back when I used to first thrift, 25 years ago, people would look at me funny. But back then, I was really getting that these are solid pieces. I guess because my mom was an interior designer, so I learned about, fabrics and construction of furniture and things early on, I guess. But now I think people have caught on. Look at this beautiful dresser and chest of drawers. $75 and then half off for both pieces. I mean, it looks like an Ethan Allen or something. And you can see it's just filled. These were Pier 1 plates. Thought those were cute. There are still really good bargains to be had out there, although a lot of the thrift stores have kind of lost their minds. So cute little neighborhood. And that vase was an antique. I didn't show it to you I did end up grabbing it for 50 cents and gave it to my daughter as a gift for her birthday, and she loved it. So here's our first estate sale. They had some beautiful things, but a lot of them were priced really high. I think everything was 25% off. This was a Saturday, I believe. And again, really good quality furniture, solid. And that was $225, I believe, and then it would be 25% off. And you've got a gorgeous vintage piece. And this set was already sold. That was so unique, gorgeous. And then look where we were going for our next estate sale. Just a beautiful neighborhood that I had never been in. This one is about a half hour from our house. And just the drive itself put me in a good mood because it was just so pretty. I mean, here were some of the houses. Some were new, some were older, but they were all absolutely stunning. And here's the house that was having the estate sale. Absolutely loved it. I was teasing with Rob about, can we just pick up the house instead of the things inside? It had a lot going for it. And after this, I'll show you what we got. So be sure to stick around for the thrift haul. And I like to try and tell you, as I'm showing you the pieces that I did decide to get, I try to give you ideas of how I would use them or will use them. I loved those chairs with the zebra, and I think it said 140 for all 6 of them. I mean, you just really can't go wrong. This porch, I wanted to take the porch home, the screened porch, so pretty. I loved the green on this, but it had a chip, or I probably would have grabbed that. I'm really in my neutrals and green phase.
Of course, you're in the garage.
And there he is. He actually does
So, of
find
course,
really
you're in the
practical
garage.
things that we need, but I had to just joke around about that, of course. Gorgeous lamps, quilts, all kinds of good stuff. Gorgeous chinoiserie vase. It had a nice flower arrangement in it. Not my style, probably not something I would use, but it was very pretty. And this bird cage. I have a thing for bird cages because I had birds my whole life. Parakeets and parrots and things, so I always check out the bird cages. But I tease Rob, if I find one, that means I'm gonna have to get a bird. Again, a high boy. That one was a little more pricey, but still very worth it. I had to video the pampas grass. I love it. Okay, thrift haul time. I have quite a few fun things to show you. The first thing I want to talk about is that rummage sale. I have been to this church rummage sale several times over the years, and it's usually really good, really nice people running it, and they price it so fantastic. And when we went, it was half price day. Had no idea it was even going on, happened to see the sign. First thing we found were 200% wool, New Zealand wool on one of them that are vintage. One of them is Ethan Allen vintage, and they are in just beautiful vintage condition. We got these for, I think it was $20 for both of them. So they just need a good cleaning, and they are beautiful. So started the day off right with that fun find. Some of the other things from that rummage sale, this water, sort of, I don't know, do you call that a jug pitcher? And it was half off of $1.50. So when I say the prices are fantastic, they're what they should be at a rummage sale, right? And so it's got some beautiful etching on it. It's heavy glass. Let's see, there's no marking on it, and then it has the little water glass. And I just love having one of these by the bed, or if you're having guests or something in your guest room, it'd be really nice to put some filtered water in there so that if they're thirsty at night, it has no chips, no flaws at all. I highly doubt it's even used. I didn't search it, but it is a heavy piece with the etching, and I'm wondering if it's glass or if it's a crystal. It's really a beautiful set. Then along the lines of pottery, I tend to gravitate towards, of course, the vintage pottery. I have found a lot of somewhat famous makers' pottery, and strangely enough, I found them here in Northwest Arkansas. They managed to make it here, but I always kind of gravitate towards the Japanese pottery for some reason. I just love the shapes and the colors. And I found these 3 little, probably tea glasses. I don't know, tea cups. They're like little mugs that don't have handles on them. I haven't searched, what how old they are or new. Just loved the colors on them. And I have a small collection. Some of it's Chinese pottery, some of it's Japanese. And the last thing at that rummage sale I'm going to show you, and then I'm going to show you a couple of estate sale finds. This was a 3-piece set of serving set. These are very heavy, and they're definitely not plastic. I don't know if they're glass or if they're crystal. I haven't searched, you know, what they might be yet, but the silver plate here and this pie server could be a nice self-defense weapon if you needed it to be. But these are just beautiful, and I paid $2.50 for the set of 3. I should probably pull them apart and see what they look like. So that's the salad spoon and the fork. My estate sale finds, I found, I know you might have seen this, even in my last video, it was sitting here. These 2 huge pillows, they do zip off, so you can wash them. You can wash the inserts. It is not a down, it's like a down alternative insert. Really nice quality though. I didn't see any tags, so I don't know what brand or anything it is, but I just loved the colors. This green, I'm really using a lot of this green in the house with all my neutrals, and it's kind of what I'm doing, painting my front door, which this weekend I got to get the second coat on. I got 1 coat and got busy. And so, of course, the pink and the blue is always ties in anywhere. These look beautiful on my chairs by my front door because I'm painting the door green, and my house is sort of a gray blue. And they look really pretty, and they're oversized, but I wouldn't be able to leave them out in the weather. But anyway, I found 2 of them, and they were $12 a piece, which a pillow this size, even at Home Goods, is going to be about $30, $35. So I went ahead and grabbed those. And I found these little floral trays. Don't always use them. These could even be little coasters or under the soap in your, you know, at your bathroom sink or your kitchen sink. Oh, and I paid $3, but then they were 25% off of that. Gotta be more careful. I dropped one. This set of knives. They are Crate and Barrel, and they're steak knives, and they're really sharp, and they're in really excellent condition. And I'm always on the hunt for good quality knives when we're out thrifting. They're hard to come by, and because knives are so expensive, and if you buy just the junky ones, we do so much cooking that they just don't last. Now these were $10, but then what, $2.50 off of that? They were 25% off of $10 for the entire set. Crate and Barrel on there. You can't really see the mark. There it is. So those were some of our vintage and home decor finds this time on Thrifting in the Ozarks. I hope you'll join me next time because we just have a lot of fun around here. I would love it if you would go over to my blog, freerangecottage.com. I have a lot of styling guides and a lot of free content over there to help you out to get the look and the home that you want, whether you're in your dream home or not. It can still be amazing. I'm not in my dream home. We have quirky spaces here that drive me pretty crazy a lot of times, but I still have been able to make the kind of home that feels good for us. And join me back here again soon. Thanks for watching today.